A messenger races toward the gates of Ugarit. The city is still alive. Merchants crowd the harbour. Bronze glitters in the marketplaces. Ships from distant kingdoms fill the docks. No one yet realizes that everything is about to change. The messenger carries a clay tablet. Its message is urgent. Enemy ships have appeared. The kingdom's army is far from home. Its fleet is somewhere else. No help is coming. Within a short time, one of the richest cities of the ancient world will disappear forever. Its streets will fall silent. Its palaces will burn. Its people will vanish into history. But Ugarit was only the beginning. Across the eastern Mediterranean, an entire civilization was already beginning to collapse. For centuries, historians searched for a single explanation. Was it invasion? Was it climate change? Was it famine? Was it earthquakes? Or the mysterious people remembered only in Egyptian records as the Sea Peoples? Today, archaeology, climate science, and thousands of ancient inscriptions tell a very different story. The Bronze Age did not end because one disaster struck. It ended because an entire world had become so deeply connected that once one part began to fail, everything else followed. More than 3,000 years ago, the Eastern Mediterranean was home to one of the most advanced civilizations humanity had ever built. This was not a collection of isolated kingdoms. It was an international world. The pharaoh ruled the Nile. The Hittite kings governed Anatolia. The Mycenaean kingdoms dominated mainland Greece. Assyria expanded its influence. Babylonia remained a center of culture, and cities like Ugarit connected them all through trade. Kings exchanged gifts. Royal families forged alliances. Through marriage, messengers crossed deserts carrying diplomatic letters sealed with royal insignias. Merchant ships sailed constantly across the Mediterranean. They carried grain, timber, olive oil, fine textiles, ivory, copper, and one of the rarest resources of the ancient world, tin. To those living at the time, this world must have seemed permanent. Prosperity had lasted for generations. The great kingdoms appeared stronger than ever. But appearances can be deceiving. Every magnificent palace, every powerful army, every wealthy city depended on something its rulers could never fully control. Connection. A sword forged in Anatolia might depend on copper mined in Cyprus. and tin transported from hundreds, even thousands of kilometers away. A single interrupted shipment could delay the production of failed harvest, could empty royal storehouses. A blocked trade route could cripple entire industries. The Bronze Age became prosperous because everything was connected. But that same success created an invisible weakness. The kingdoms no longer depended only on their own strength. They depended on each other. And when an entire civilization depends on a single network, that network becomes the most dangerous point of failure. The collapse had already begun, long before anyone realized it. Long before cities burned, the first warning signs appear. Crops fail, drought spreads, rivers shrink, food becomes scarce, and ordinary people begin to suffer. The atmosphere becomes darker and more desperate. Then came another challenge. Modern climate research suggests that parts of the eastern Mediterranean experienced years of unusually severe drought. The rains became unreliable. Harvests, reservoirs began to dry. Fields that had fed entire kingdoms could no longer provide. For ordinary families, this meant hunger. For kings, it threatened something even more dangerous: control. History teaches us that civilizations rarely collapse the moment the first harvest fails. They collapse when one crisis creates another. And that is exactly what happened. Then came the violence. Ancient cities that had stood for centuries began to fall. Smoke rose above once prosperous kingdoms. Trade routes disappeared. Royal archives fell silent. Entire populations fled their homes. Among the most mysterious figures in this story were the people history remembers as the Sea Peoples. Ancient Egyptian inscriptions describe fleets arriving by both land and sea. But even today, no one knows exactly who they were. Some historians believe they were invaders. Others believe they were refugees, driven from their own homes by famine and collapse. Perhaps they were both. What matters is this: they did not arrive to destroy a peaceful world. They arrived when that world was already falling apart. Perhaps no city tells the story of the Bronze Age collapse better than Ugarit. Among its ruins, archaeologists discovered letters written during the city's final days. One message reads almost like a cry for help. Enemy ships have appeared. The army is away. The fleet is somewhere else. The city stands alone. There is no time, no reinforcements, no escape. Soon afterward, Ugarit disappeared. Its harbor became silent. Its palaces collapsed. Its archives remained buried beneath the earth. For more than 3,000 years, waiting for someone to read their final story. More than 3,000 years have passed, yet the story feels strangely familiar. A civilization connected by trade, dependent on distant resources, bound together by prosperity, and vulnerable when those connections begin to fail. Perhaps the greatest lesson of the Bronze Age collapse is not how civilizations rise, but how quietly they begin to fall. Thank you for watching Unveiled Lore. If you enjoy thoughtful documentaries that uncover the forgotten stories of history, consider subscribing, because history still has many secrets left to reveal.